Hey everyone, Connie here with just a special little countdown video for you here. Something different, something we haven't done for, I think, a couple weeks now. I don't know. Also, yes, I know I need to shave. Don't worry about that. But that being said, so yeah, this is, as the title says, my top 20 hottest Pokemon characters. So I want to make some things very clear, some rules, some regulations with this list. One, the character must be of age. This is very important for obvious reasons. The character must be of age, or since pretty much every character in this game, for the most part, or at least most of the characters, don't have a actual listed age anywhere. It's mostly just kind of implied in a lot of cases that they're around a certain period of age. So the character either has to be obviously of age, like certain characters like Professor Oak, just as a random example. Obviously, he's an adult. They have to be of age, or they have to be extremely reasonably considerable as adults. Like there are characters, for example, in Gen 8, like Sonya and Leon, who are never actually stated to be adults, but are very heavily implied to be so. Um, Characters like that, though, basically, who it's like, yeah, you can tell they're adults, or you can reasonably say they are. Um, if a character is too ambiguous in that regard, they won't be included. If they're just too ambiguous where you just really can't tell, they won't be included. Again, this is for obvious reasons. I shouldn't even need to explain it, so I won't. But otherwise, we are counting for the games here. Specifically, the mainline games or remakes of the mainline games, all of that jazz. We will not be considering like certain spin offs like Coliseum or whatnot, or XD Gale of Darkness, those kind of games. One, I haven't even really played those games, funny enough. Two, it's like if you consider all the spin offs and stuff, you'll also consider like that one like that takes place in like feudal Japan and stuff with all like the characters who I think are based on real people, and then it just gets kind of weird. Um, Conquest, that's what it was called, Pokemon Conquest, which is a great game. It's a really enjoyable game. It's just yeah, it's just I don't feel fair. It doesn't feel fair counting games like that. So again, I'm counting like mainline games that are part of the main generations of the franchise. And yes, that does even include Legends Arceus because that is considered an official mainline Gen 8 game. Um, so yeah, um, this will include any characters from that. Again, as long as they're of age. And there's not really any other big rules regarding it. They just have to be of age, and they're just the hottest characters according to my personal types, basically. So some of the characters on this list, if you've watched my reactions and videos and know like the kind of characters I find myself attracted to, will not surprise you. Some of the characters on this list will not surprise you at all. Um, but some of them might. And it's a top 20 specifically because there's a lot of characters, and I'm not including like train just random trainer types. Like I'm not going to include like the black belt from Gen 1 or something like that. You know what I mean. Like I'm not going to include stuff like that. They have to be specifically named, focused, featured characters. They can be gym leaders, they can be Elite Four, they can be characters focused on with the plot of any kind. Those kind of characters. Not like just random trainers that you find out in the field. Those won't count. As long as they're named and have a very notable role and whatnot, they count. Um, so yeah, it's all down to opinion, and obviously only human characters. There could be a completely separate list made for actual Pokemon, um, but obviously only human characters. um, And yeah, this is a list I kind of like jokingly said I was going to make in the Discord, but decided I actually would do it because it sounded kind of fun. And it was all brought upon by like some discourse and stuff I was seeing regarding Legends Arceus on Twitter. So, yeah, it's a fun list. It was very fun, like looking back into some of these generations and seeing characters that I just completely forgot existed, mostly from Gens 4 and 5, because I honestly forget about most of the characters from those gens because they're very forgettable. Outside of like the main focused characters like N and whatnot, and whatever the name of the guy who I think he adopted N, the bad guy in Gen 5. I don't remember his name, but him too. I remember the character. I don't remember his name. But it's like other than like certain characters like that, most of the characters in like those gens I didn't even remember, and I had to go and look back on. And so it was interesting, like getting reminded of certain characters. And just as another note, there are characters who aren't on this list who I do still find attractive. It's just they're not in my top 20. And keep in mind as well, it is all still just subjective. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and everybody finds different things attractive for different reasons. And some people, a lot of people even, find different things attractive at different points in their lives. It's very subjective. It's very, very much something that changes and evolves, pun intended, as time goes on. So my list won't even stay the same as it is now. Pretty much all of my top 10s are like that. It's like my lists never really stay the same because I evolve as a person, my tastes evolve, stuff like that, and that's going to keep happening. That's just what being human is like. So either way, this will be redirected to, just to make it easier. I'll probably just show clips of these characters from the games that they're in. Maybe I'll show some anime clips if I can't find specific game clips. I don't know. But let me know down in the comments below, who are your favorite, or the characters you find the most attractive in Pokemon games. Or you can even include the anime if you want to. I'm not going to be including anime characters here, just the mainline games. But if you want to include other games, if you want to include anime, feel free to mention those as well. And again, only characters who are canonically and very clearly adult, or are very, very much inferred to be, or just it's like very much believable that they are. If it's too ambiguous, those won't be counted. If they're obviously a kid, definitely not counted. But yeah, you get the gist. So let me know your thoughts down below, your choices, and for the time being, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Connie, and I hope you enjoy the list.